And welcome once again to another episode of Stu Ham Productions presents
J&M, Solve the World. I am James.
And I am Matt. And with us is our special guest, sports connoisseur, starting wide receiver and cornerback for the Skyline Tigers, Mr. Aiden Battles.
What's up?
Where's this division at?
Oh.
There you go.
Okay, so obviously this is our sports podcast, and big thing, got to give a big thumbs up to Mr. Albert Pujols.
Yep.
Ending his career with over 700.
702, I believe, or I think.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Crazy career.
Mr. Aaron Judge, becoming the American League home run single season record holder, and only the fifth person in history to pass Roger Maris for 61 home runs in a single season.
That's a lot of home runs.
Yeah, it is. I mean, because you figure how many games they play now? Like
162.
Yeah.
When Maris broke it, it was 156.
Right. And there's an asterisk on his because because when Maris broke Babe's record, Babe was still alive. And he was like, it took him more games to do it. So that's why there's an asterisk next to Maris's 61, because Babe, they played 80 games, maybe, or something.
No,
they
played more than that. I think he just got to 61 faster.
Yeah. Or
season, but
when you watch this, it'll be like right up in here how many games they played during the Babe Ruth era.
there you go.
All right. Let's see here.
Too bad the Cardinals went 0-2 in the playoffs.
Yeah,
But,
it would have been great for Yachty and Pujols to end their careers in a World Series.
That would have been cool.
That would have been good.
That would have been amazing.
I'm a baseball fan, but I don't sit and watch 162 games in regular season. But once they get into playoffs,
Yeah.
if the Cardinals, if they'd have made it past Philly, and I'd have been watching every game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's easier. Honestly, it's easier to watch postseason. Just like
so much on the line.
Right.
You don't win, there's no tomorrow.
Right. The All-Star break, that's good to watch because it's a couple of games. Or you're watching the home run derby. Because, I mean, that's always awesome.
I haven't watched that in a long time. Usually it's on a weeknight, I've got something going on, or I forget about it.
Right.
Because it's not the big national, it's not on a like NBC or Fox or something. That's usually
Not
on
anymore.
TBS or something,
But as far as we're concerned, baseball season is over with.
Yep.
We got football. We got hockey.
Hockey just started. Basketball just started. Don't care about NBA.
I do.
Myself. Do you?
So who?
Aiden
Who's your team?
Yeah.
An NBA?
Yeah.
Warriors.
Come out and play.
Okay.
Do you follow hockey at all?
Nope.
I do if the Blues are winning.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched their Stanley Cup run, except for the last game, because the game before I watched it from drop of the puck.
Right.
And they end up losing. I'm like, damn it, I jinxed them. Because the game before that, I got in on it in the third period.
Right.
And they ended up winning it. So I told myself, okay, I'm not going to watch till about the third period. And we got to watching a movie or something. And I was like, I wonder what it'll be about the third period. I flipped over and they were celebrating. It's like, well, shit. But it's, hockey's one of them. I guess it'd be like drinking scotch. It's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
They say if you ever go to one live, you're hooked for life.
Oh, when I lived in Tennessee, got to go see the Preds play several times. The last game that I went to, it was Preds Blues. I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
But before that, I hadn't like really sat down since I'd been out in California. I was a Los Angeles Kings fan.
Right.
I mean, they had the great one,
Right.
fucking Wayne Gretzky.
That's where he ended his career, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Because what, he an Edmonton Oiler or something
Yep.
like that most of his career?
Yep. And I may be wrong, and if I am, I'm going to put it right up here. But I believe he's part owner of the Arizona Coyotes.
That could be. Because I'm a casual fan, you know.
Hockey's never been my thing.
Yeah. What, you know, when I was watching the Blues in their playoff run when they won the Cup, the thing about it was it gets so suspenseful. If you got like a 1-goal lead and it's 4 or 5 minutes left and the other team's like down on your end of the ice and they're making shots, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, it gets, you know, you're like, finally when it's over, you're like, I can breathe now. They held on, you know.
Right. And
or if the other team scores, you're like, shit.
Yeah.
Now we're going into overtime.
Kind of like watching the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
But, you know, hockey's not a high-scoring game.
No.
But, you know, there are baseball games that are not high-scoring.
Right.
But it still goes 9 innings. There's no time limit.
Right.
Whereas hockey, you have 3 periods, and there is a time limit.
The nice thing about baseball, a low-scoring game, it's usually a fast game.
Yes.
Because, you know, it's 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, or one guy gets a base hit or something. Usually those games go fast. When they get to those 8 to 9 run games that stretch out to 3.5, 4 hours. You know?
Well, okay, when the Cardinals coming off of their World Series championship in 11, so this would have been 12 or 13, I think it was. They had a doubleheader, and the first game didn't end until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Because I'd went to bed and it was on. I had to get up early. Had to go into work when I was still in the Army, and I turned on the radio, and it's still fucking going. I'm like, Jesus Christ!
There's been a couple games here in recent years that were just normal 9-inning games that were tied, and they went into extra innings. And I think one of them was an 18-inning game. I can't remember who it was, but it's like, because, you know, just because the first team to score, you score in the top of the 10th. Okay.
Right.
Well, the other team still gets their 3 outs. If they tie it again, then you just keep going and going.
Yeah.
And going. I mean, both pitching staffs were wiped out.
Right.
I think they probably, both teams probably lost their next 5 games because they didn't have a pitcher.
Right. There's a minor league team out of Savannah, Georgia, the Savannah Bananas, and they're like the Harlem Globetrotters are to basketball.
Oh yeah.
Savannah Bananas are the same way. 5-inning games. They are timed, but it's a show.
Right.
You got a guy coming out on stilts.
That's a tall strike zone.
Exactly. It's like, you know, there's the like mid-inning base run, or you know, they played the Monarchs up in Kansas City. Used to be the T-Bones. They played up there 3 games.
Right.
They were sold out. I mean, the stadium was. They could have probably moved the game to Kauffman.
Right.
And sold it out as well. I mean, yeah, I mean, everything that I've seen is just like, now that's a game that I would love to go see.
Right.
It's like they dance before every pitch.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you've ever seen the Harlem Globetrotters.
It's the WWE version of baseball.
Yeah. But, I mean, those guys are like the Globetrotters. They're amazing athletes, amazing basketball players. These guys are amazing baseball players.
Right.
You know, they may have played in the majors, or they may have played minor league and never made it. But yeah, it's just like, wow, that's fucking awesome.
So what would be your walk-up song if you was a Major League Baseball player?
Oh, shit. Damn. fuck that. I mean, there's so many that I would love to have, but it's like the meaning's not there or whatnot. Fuck, I don't know. What would be yours?
Only one word. Walk. Pantera. Especially if I was a crusher like Pool Holes or something like that, you just have to respect. Yeah.
Yeah. Aiden, what would be your walk-up song?
I have a lot of songs, but I don't know. Never really thought of that.
Probably something from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, hell yeah. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. That would, especially if you're playing in New York.
Yeah.
Fucking just, it would go just wild. But, that would be awesome. All right, let's transition, if we will, into sport-themed movies. Not movies with sports in them, but the movies that are sports-themed. And I'll open it up to documentaries and actual motion pictures.
Well, we just watched the documentary on Kurt Warner when it came out last year. That was a pretty good movie.
What Underdog?
American Underdog?
American Underdog, yeah.
See, I know there's one movie that we all know, The Blind Side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's based on a true story, but like any based on a true story movie, there's always some liberties.
Oh, yeah.
In there.
Apparently with his blessing, though.
Yes.
When the movie came out, he was still played in the NFL.
Yes.
So.
I've talked about it before, but Facing Ryan on Netflix, documentary on Nolan Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
I've talked about it before. Here's this guy. I think he was 85 years old when he threw out a first pitch, and it was an 85-mile-an-hour fastball.
Crazy.
Only player to play in 4 decades. He's got more strikeouts than anybody ever.
I'm thinking on that only player because I think Bob Force played in 4 decades, too.
No.
He didn't?
Nope.
Pitcher for the Cardinals?
Yeah, we looked at it.
Okay.
It was 70s, 80s. He had a 17-year career, and it spanned the 70s and the 80s because he retired in 89.
Okay.
Nolan got drafted in 68 to the Mets. They won the World Series in 69. In the 70s, he went to the Angels. He got traded to the Angels. In the 80s, he got picked up by the Houston Astros because he was from the Houston area. First professional athlete to make $1 million on a contract. Not the first baseball player. No, the first professional athlete. Nobody had made $1 million contract at that time. And then he retired in 93 with the Rangers. And what really sealed his retirement, he wasn't able to finish a game. Because that was his thing. If he started a game, he finished that game.
Right.
There was no, bring in the closer. No. He was there the whole 9 innings.
That would have been like back in the 60s trying to take Bob Gibson out of a game.
Yeah. And Nolan Ryan's major influence was Sandy Koufax.
I heard a story, I don't know if it's true or not, on local sports. They were talking about Bob Gibson. The last home run he gave up in his career. Okay. Several years later, they're playing a Legends game or whatever, the old timers. The last guy that hit the home run off of him came to the plate. Guess what? He got knocked down. He held that kind of a grudge.
Nolan said that because there was several father-son generations that he had pitched to.
Right.
Cal Ripken and Cal Ripken Jr.
Probably both Bonds.
Yeah. Who was it? God damn it! I played for Seattle during the home run race in '98.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Griff.
Yeah. And Ken Griffey Sr.
Yep. Okay. Enough about Nolan Ryan. Amazing pitcher.
Sticking with based on a true story, I like the Gridiron Gang.
Yeah.
You know, the movie with The Rock, where he's coaching those kids that are basically juvenile lockup. You know,
Juvenile delinquents.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good movie.
That was his first one, back in football.
Yeah.
Because he did that one before he did the program. Not the program. That Disney one he did.
Oh,
where he was the king.
Yeah. When he found out he had a little girl.
Yeah.
Oh, Tooth Fairy?
No.
No, not that.
No, not Tooth Fairy.
No, Tooth Fairy, he was a hockey player.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we just say movies The Rock were in that has sports related.
Game Plan.
Game Plan.
Game
no.
Plan.
No. Was it? Yeah, okay. Yep.
Because the program is another.
Program is another really good movie.
Yes.
It's based on, have you seen that yet, mate, Aiden?
Which one?
The Program. It was back in the 90s, I want to say.
Yep.
And it was based on a college team. And all the players, it was kind of like a Friday Night Lights version, but it was
College.
Quarterback
had been on the Heisman watch for a couple of years. Known alcoholic. The fame and everything just got to him, and he couldn't handle it.
The linebacker that just couldn't make the starting team. Well, in the offseason, he gained 35 pounds of pure muscle and was just destroying people. And they're like going,
"Oh no, he was a defensive lineman."
I thought he was a linebacker.
All right, no, he made no. Alvin, the guy that got his leg broke.
Yeah.
And it like ended his career, and his whole thing was going to buy the big house for his mom.
Right.
He was a linebacker because there'd be that guy, that wide receiver or running back or whatnot, and Alvin's like chasing him down the sideline. Right. Is like, "Oh, yeah, I got you, you punk motherfucker! Yeah. You're the one that shot my fucking mom!" And I mean, just scaring the fuck out of people. And
right.
God, I can't even think of that guy's actor's name, but I mean, it was awesome.
But this guy, he basically he done steroids in the off season to bulk up and everything, and he made the starting team. And then he had an incident with one of the cheerleaders or whatever in his dorm room where he wasn't taking no for an answer, and he got busted, and they made him test, and he tested positive for roids and had to get off the juice.
I mean,
then he got ran over.
Yeah.
And cost him a bowl game basically, and so he got back on it again for their next bowl game. And
oh no, when he got ran over, that's when Alvin got his leg messed up.
Is that what he got his?
Yeah. But I mean,
it's been a while. It's been a minute, but it's a good movie.
But there's a scene in the movie that had gotten cut. Now, I got to see the movie in the theater, and in the movie, there's the scene where Sports Illustrated does a write-up on all the Heisman Trophy candidates. And the quarterback, somebody tosses down the magazine, the quarterback takes it, walks out into a busy street, and lays down in the middle of the street on the yellow line. While the rest of the team that's there drinking in the bar with him, to show their loyalty, they come out and they lay down on that line with him. He's on his back with his legs crossed up, and he's just reading a magazine, and the rest of these players are lined up, and of course, some stupid kids decided, hey, let's try this, and they got ran over, so they pulled that scene from the movie. But it showed the loyalty that players have in each other.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I trust you enough that I'm gonna go do this.
Yeah.
And Old School, Vision Quest.
Yeah.
That one, when I was in high school, like when I played football, that was a motivator for me, that movie.
Even though it's a wrestling movie.
Oh yeah. But it's the determination. I mean, he was number one in his weight class at 225, and he drops to 168 to wrestle this guy who was undefeated. Thank you. Undefeated in the state. I don't know what state it was, but he was undefeated.
Apparently the state of confusion.
Yeah. Because, I mean, why the fuck would you drop from 225 to 168?
Yeah, that's...
And even to make weight, he had to strip completely all the way down.
And shave.
It was the 80s. Let's see here. Hoosiers. Another good basketball. Blue Chips. But
Rudy. If you want to be have you seen Rudy? Got a college football player. He plays for, his dream is to play for Notre Dame and everything, but he's too small. And he's on the practice squad, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he busts his ass and busts his ass and busts his ass. Well, finally, the last game of the season, all the players, they go in and they go, Rudy can have my spot. And they lay their jersey on the coach's desk.
Yeah, because they're only allowed to dress so many players, and they were all like, you know, Rudy's a senior, last game of the season, Rudy can have my spot. Rudy can have my spot. Now, it makes for a great movie, but Joe Montana was on that team.
Oh, yeah.
When Rudiger was a senior at Notre Dame, Montana was a freshman. And Montana says that didn't happen.
Right. That wouldn't have made a good movie, though.
Right. But
this whole movie leads up to, well, guess what? He don't get to play.
Well, no. The players.
Oh, doing the jersey.
Doing the jersey thing. But no, I mean, there's pictures at Notre Dame of them carrying Rudiger off the field.
Right.
The actual Rudy Rudiger. And I mean, the story's true about busting his ass to get onto the team. There's another movie, I forgot the name of the movie, but player was Burlsworth at Arkansas. And another sort of thing, he had a dream to play for the Razorbacks. And when he was in high school, he bulked up because he was defensive line, but he got dirty weight. It was just junk and shit. And it wasn't until he got to college and he tried to walk on, the coach was like, you know, you got great heart, but you need to lose this weight. And he lost 100 pounds during that season, and he came back for spring, and for the spring ball, he got picked up. He got to be on the practice team. And the coach said, you know, hey, good job. You lost the weight. Now let's put the weight back on the right way. And his determination, because, I mean, he was on the practice squad. And he ended up being a walk-on, All-American, recruited third round to the Indianapolis Colts. But unfortunately, on his way to spring training, he was killed in an auto accident. That season, and he had never, like, he signed his contract with the Colts and everything. That season, they all the Colts wore his number on the back of their helmets.
Yeah.
There's a scholarship at the University of Arkansas and his name for student athletes that are walk-ons and everything. I can't think of the fucking movie. I just looked at it
last night.
Yeah, I just looked at it too. But it's definitely one of those movies that'll fucking. Who's dusting in here?
Yep.
I got dust in my eye, son of a bitch. Varsity Blues.
That's one of your favorite, isn't it?
Oh Only
likes
for
it.
a couple reasons.
He likes the whipped cream scene.
Ali Lauder.
So we're just doing movies that are like just mainly sports movies.
Right. Well, not movies with sports in them, but sports movies, because Varsity Blues all wraps around the football team.
So,
You know, Burlsworth, the movie I was just talking about, is all about him being an athlete and his determination. Rudy, the determination to be on
Waterboy.
Waterboy.
Waterboy. Man, he's playing like Joe Montana. Or Joe Montana. Joe Montana was a quarterback. I said Joe Montana. That's a great one because it's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Well, then you got to go longest yard then.
Oh,
Both of them.
and that's the thing.
I mean, of course, the new one, it's
Yeah.
fresher. It's my favorite
Yeah.
because of all the stars you got in there. I mean, because we're wrestling fans and we're football fans. And how does it get any better than having Stone Cold, Kevin Nash,
Bill Romanowski, Brian Bosworth, Michael Irvin, Terry Crews, Bill Goldberg. I mean,
you know,
not only were some of these guys wrestlers, but they were also football players.
right.
Now, granted, like Stone Cold.
Then Bob Sapp was actually a football player who went to MMA.
Yeah.
You imagine that standing across the cage from that big son of a bitch?
No.
Jesus.
Now here's a question though, and I'd really like to know whether it was special effects or if it was fucking real.
Where he was mentioned
No, when he got his nose broke, and then Chris Rock resets it, because I mean that. I don't know how you could do that, because I mean the nose is.
no one. What little did I know of him? He probably said break it. It's been broke before.
Yeah.
He broke in my nose.
The Great Khali.
Yeah.
He was in there.
Yep.
He was actually pissed.
Turley.
Yeah. He was actually pissed because they
They took his table tennis away from him?
no subtitled.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have that many lines, but he was pissed because he worked really hard on his English for the movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, I play.
Now
I think he shit himself.
Now I don't have to stab you.
Okay, how are we forgetting one of the greatest movies of all time, Rocky,
There you go.
based all around boxing.
Yep. And
You're a
based,
bum, Rock. You'll always be a bum.
and based lightly on a true story of oh God, what? Remember his nickname? They called him the Bayonne Bleeder. He had a 15-round fight with Muhammad Ali,
Okay.
but Ali knocked him out with just seconds left to go in the 15th round. And that's, God, I can't remember his name, but there was a documentary on him. And Stallone seen that, and that's kind of where he come up with the idea for Rocky. And you remember the scene but the night before the fight when he goes down to the arena and he looks at the posters and his is wrong, his colors are wrong, you know.
Yeah.
But he gets back and Adrian's like, what's the matter? He's like, I can't win. But all I want to do is go 15 rounds with the champ. It was based
Okay.
off of, what's his name? You'll have to look it up. But
And it'll be
yep.
right there. Oh,
And he was actually, he actually done some, I think he was like sparring partners or something in Rocky 2.
yeah.
Stallone invited him to come
Okay.
to the movie set, but he had got bad into alcohol and drugs and stuff, and he could have probably had a movie career, but he kind of fucked that up.
Yeah. And for those just tuning in, as you can see, we have our table. It is complete. It is nice and smooth with the bottle caps.
All soda pop now.
Oh, yeah. It's all soda pop.
Barley pops.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But let's see here. I know there's plenty. Any given Sunday,
Black
Friday night, Friday Night Lights. Remember Marshall.
Here Comes the Boom.
Yeah.
Kevin James.
I mean, it
Remember the Titans.
loose.
Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, any given Sunday. Now, this is kind of funny how this came around.
How can we forget Major League?
Wild thing.
What about The Sandlot?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
you're killing me, Smalls. God, I follow a guy on TikTok and he's fucking hilarious.
Wasn't that the one, too, where they hit the ball over the fence and they had the
Yep.
big mastiff in it? Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about Benchwarmers? It's centered around baseball.
How are we forgetting Dodgeball?
A true underdog
A
story.
true underdog story.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. I tell you, Justin Long, his part in that movie, I mean, his comedic timing is perfect because he was constantly getting hit with a wrench, getting hit with a ball, and in the balls, in the head. I mean, just fucking hilarious.
Of course, going on the ridiculous basketball.
Oh, of course. I mean, they made that game up.
They created a sport.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Space Jam.
Space Jam. Well,
Which one are we talking?
Both of them.
The only good thing about the second one is Gabriel Iglesias does the voice of Speedy Gonzalez.
I don't think I've seen it all the way. I've seen the very end of it. A few weeks ago.
His new stand-up, he was talking about cancel culture, was trying to cancel Speedy Gonzalez and cancel him, and he's like, how?
I could see where
Speedy Gonzalez is a mouse, a Mexican mouse. I am Mexican, and he put it into terms, and it's like, oh, because it's something that we don't think about. But Speedy Gonzalez was a beacon of Mexican culture for the Mexican children growing up watching the cartoons. Hey, that's me. That could be. I got it. It's a cartoon, but hey, that could be me.
Right.
It's the same.
I could see where they would cancel Slowpoke Rodriguez because he carries a gun.
But it only pulls it out, if he's provoked.
Yeah.
Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah. Hashtag me too.
Yeah.
Or for us old folks, pound me too.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. That was always
Yeah.
that was a pound sign to me.
Yeah. But the first one had Bill fucking Murray in it.
And Michael Jordan.
Well, yeah, of course. And it was great because
That's probably the last time I've watched an NBA game start to finish was during the Jordan era.
yeah,
It's probably
the movie.
finals, Bulls finals.
Yeah,
The,
the movie actually ushered in his return, like his official return.
coming back from baseball.
Yeah.
Two sport athletes. Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
Bo knows.
Yeah. If Bo hadn't blew out his hip. What was ironic about that, he played for the Kansas City Royals
Yep.
and then the Oakland Raiders.
Los Angeles.
Or Los Angeles.
Yeah, they were
Raiders.
Los Angeles at
But
the
still,
time.
played for the Raiders.
Oh, right.
Kansas City and the Raiders hate each other, but he was a hero with the Royals.
But here's the thing. He wanted to play in Kansas City.
All right.
Marty didn't want him.
Uh,
Rumor. Allegedly.
allegedly.
Marty didn't want him.
But not too many of them can carry it off.
No.
I mean, it didn't work out for Michael. One of the great, probably one of, if not the greatest basketball player ever.
Yeah.
Baseball, not so much.
Well, and that's the thing is those sports are way different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you really want to impress me, be an all-star baseball player, hitter, and then become a PGA golfer. that swing is totally different.
Oh yeah, unless you're Mark McGuire.
Yeah, does he play golf?
Yeah, I mean, not professionally or anything.
That's what I'm saying.
But his
if
base,
you could be a 300 hitter in baseball, and then transition and get your PGA Tour card and play on the tour, that would be remarkable. Just because of the difference of the swing sets.
But McGuire's swing was damn near a golf swing.
Still different.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm sure. But I mean, how many PGA players do you see that are McGuire's size?
Not that many.
Exactly. But
weight wise,
yeah, I'm sure.
You know, John Daly, who could crush a freaking golf ball around that big fat belly.
Shit.
While he was drunk smoking cigars.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. There you go.
Hockey player that couldn't make it that turned to golf.
Yep.
And
What about the Mighty Ducks?
Oh, there you go.
I was never a Ducks fan. The Mighty Ducks fan thing.
The movie or the
movie?
Or the
it just kind
Anaheim.
of it seemed like there were so many movies coming out.
It had Emilio Estevez in it. That was one good thing.
Emilio. Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't Billy the Kid in that movie, but you know.
No. Which I guess is kind of a good thing.
Teen Wolf.
Oh shit! Yeah, we talked about this.
I mean, we want to bring Halloween and sports together. Teen Wolf. Have you seen that with Michael J. Fox? You haven't seen that?
Oh, he was a basketball player.
Yeah, he's a basketball player, high school.
Werewolf.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Ain't worth a shit. But then he's
Yeah, no, I've seen that.
yeah, starts turning into a werewolf, and the wolf takes over, and he just
He's got all the strength and the power and everything,
Yeah.
and yeah, he needs to learn to manscape.
Send him the 4.0 gift package.
Fuck that! You're gonna need a straight up weed whacker on that one.
Cheap shirts.
What else? What else are we?
Let's see.
Oh, Any Given Sunday was based loosely on the Denver Broncos.
Really?
The director, I can't remember who directed Any Given Sunday, because Gianni Russo was a producer, and he was related to Mike Shanahan when Shanahan was the coach of the Broncos. Al Pacino shadowed Mike Shanahan. They were going to use Mile High Stadium as, you know, and they wanted to create, you know, get a lot of teams and everything in on this movie so they could have different stadiums. And then shit fell through, so they ended up using an old stadium in Florida, and they were able to change the stadium for every game to look like they're someplace else. But yeah, I mean, it was Al Pacino's character in that movie was LL Cool J.
Yeah, and when Cameron Diaz in that, wasn't she like the owner's daughter or
Something like
basically
that.
owned the team? Yeah.
Oh, Last Boy Scout.
Last Boy Scout. Yeah.
That's got a great opening scene.
Oh yeah.
You ain't tackling me, motherfucker. Bam, bam.
Then, bam.
Didn't he score?
Yeah.
And then killed himself?
Yeah. Scored and then shot himself in the end zone.
Plot twist.
See anybody top that end zone dance?
Exactly. But I think we've covered a lot.
We've missed a lot, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, guaranteed. As soon as we shut this off, it's going to be like boom, 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 boom.
Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
A bunch of classics.
Yeah.
Sure what we've missed.
If you build it, they will come. All right. You have just watched another episode of Stewie Productions Presents.
J&M, Solve the World. I have been James.
And I've been Matt. And with us, our special guest, starting wide receiver and cornerback for the Skyline Tigers, Mr. Aiden Battles.
Yep.
And until next time, keep one fist in the gold, one foot in the gutter, and we will be seeing you.
Peace.